So I hope you're all well. If you are self-isolating like I am, I hope you're doing okay. I hope it's not getting you down too much. So today I wanted to make a video for those who are self-isolating and away from loved ones, but this could also translate over to those in long distance relationships. You might be watching this in the future and all of this coronavirus stuff has finally blown over, but if you're in a long distance relationship, these tips will also come in useful, so please keep watching. So this can apply to friendships, relationships, romantic ones, family members, any kind of relationships. If you're away from someone for a while and you want to keep that spark between you alive and you want there to still be a relationship there, you don't want to let it fade out. For me, this whole self-isolating thing has been is a bit of a challenge. Also because I was ill just before it all kind of went down, and now we're on lockdown, but just before I was ill, so I didn't see any friends for a few months then anyway. So other than my boyfriend and his family and my family, I've not seen any friends for a while, and also now me and my boyfriend live in separate households, so we can't see each other. We also live in different cities as well, but normally we see each other a couple of times a week. I tend to stay over for a few days, but obviously that is not an option now, so we're going to have to go a few weeks without seeing each other, which is obviously a new challenge for our relationship. I've been picking up some things along the way which I think other people who are experience a similar sort of thing might find helpful. So firstly, have a routine, kind of know when you're going to talk to each other. So whether that's good morning text, evening text, a certain time you have a phone call. Know when you're going to talk to each other, so you know you can look forward to talking to each other, you know that they've got a moment to chat, you know you're not interrupting their day. Just make it part of your routine. It's nice, everyone likes receiving a good morning and a good night message. My second tip is to have something to look forward to. Obviously at the moment we can't go anywhere and all of this craziness, but plan something for when all of this is over, for when we can leave the houses. Whether that's things with friends, dates out you've been wanting to do for ages but haven't, whether that's a nice meal with your boyfriend. If you have relationships which are long term, make plans for the future because it gives you something to look forward to, and we could all use a bit of excitement. And if you have something to look forward to, it's kind of a promise that you're going to do what you can in the time beforehand to keep the relationship as good as possible. And it's nice to do nice things, it's nice to have date nights, it's nice to spend time with friends. So have that to look forward to. My next tip is to watch things together. So me and my boyfriend, before all of this started, were watching This Is Us whenever we saw each other, but obviously now we can't see each other, so we've decided to keep watching it separately, but then to discuss the episode on the phone every night. So we're still watching the same episode on the same days, and then we're still talking about them. It also gives something else for you to have the conversation about. Things can get a bit stale when there is only the option of talking on the phone and you're not actively making new memories with somebody, and the conversations can get a bit repetitive. So it does bring more stuff to talk about. You get to enjoy a show you watch, you get to share something you love with someone you love. There's also the option of Netflix parties. Now I joined in a Netflix party last night and it was so much fun. So it's just a Google Chrome extension and you all can watch the episode at the same time, and there's a chat so you can discuss the episode. So I did it last night with It Takes Three Network, which is a podcasting network I follow, and we watched Gossip Girl. There's a Gossip Girl podcast and it was so fun to discuss it as it went, so that's great, and as many people as you want can join, so you could do it with a lot of friends and still enjoy watching TV together but apart. My next tip is to trust a relationship. Don't be too needy. Obviously it's very important to put time and effort into keeping your relationship alive, but also the people who you're not currently with are also doing their own things. They have their own stuff going on and they won't be able to text every moment of the day, they won't be able to talk every moment of the day. Have your own life outside of that relationship. Not only does it give you more to talk about when you do talk, but also if you're a bit needy, it can be hard on the other person. And if you feel like you constantly do need to text and you feel insecure if you're not talking to that person constantly, maybe you're in the wrong relationship. I could be wrong, but that's personally how I think it tends to be a lot of the time. If you feel insecure in a relationship, there's usually a reason. But don't end your relationship based on what I just said, but maybe just sit with that for a video call. Obviously everyone loves a video call, everyone loves a FaceTime, everyone loves a Skype, whatever it is. But My tip here is to not do it too often because you want it to still be exciting. So the moment me and my boyfriend talk on the phone every day, but then we've decided today, later today we'll FaceTime, and it's more exciting, it's something to look forward to because we're not constantly doing it, it doesn't quite feel the norm. And also, if you are going to video call, make a bit of effort, do your makeup, do your hair, and I'm not saying full on get ready because let's be honest, we all love loungewear and we all don't really want to spend hours doing makeup, especially when you're not going anywhere. But put a bit of effort into looking nice because you'd make effort for a date, so why shouldn't you make an effort for a FaceTime date? My next tip is to send each other stuff. Go a bit old school and become pen pals. It can be letters, postcards, cards, or like little gifts. When I got out of hospital recently, I came out to a package of parcel from a package of parcel? What? Packet. Why can't I get the sentence out? To a package of popcorn from my boyfriend. Really random, but we both found this popcorn we really liked and we kept talking about how good it was and how we really wanted to have it again. So he sent me some to cheer me up, which is kind of like a bit of an in thing. Everyone else was like, why have you got popcorn? But I loved it and it was thoughtful because it was something we had discussed. You can also just send a letter. Everybody loves receiving mail. Obviously, you might not want to be constantly sending things with the current world situation, but when you do your shop, if you don't have stamps, you could do it when you do your shop if you are going out to shop. It's quite a nice thing to do. It's nice for you, it's nice for the other person. It's a bit of a different way to stay connected and it's quite cute as well. And it means a lot as well to receive something in the post, I think. My next tip is to make sure you show interest in the other person, in their day, what they've been doing. It's quite easy to do more talking than listening. It's easy to talk about our day and not listen so much to the other person, or talk about our day and then get distracted or interrupt each other. So switch on your listening ears a bit, listen to the other person, what they've got to say, and just make sure you're giving them your full attention. I think is more important than ever to be engaged in your conversations at this time. My next tip is to schedule your calls so that you're not constantly calling each other when you're busy and you don't keep missing each other. You want to make sure the calls happen, so just send messages. Oh, is this time okay? If you've got WhatsApp groups with friends, you can arrange kind of video calls, group video calls, but schedule it in right in your diary as if it's an actual appointment. That way calls don't get missed or you don't end up calling somebody at a time which isn't good for them, or vice versa. My next one is voice notes. Voice notes are fun, use them. It's just a bit of a more interesting way to text. Also, texting can take a lot of time to write a long text. And yeah, it's quite nice to send a voice note. It's quite nice to hear each other's voices, but sometimes we don't always have time for a phone call, so a voice note is a nice way, nice little snippet. Basically, take advantage of all of the technology. And my last tip is to find balance. Like I said earlier, you don't want to be too needy, you don't want to constantly need to chat to your other half or your friends. It's important to be independent too, but obviously you want to keep those relationships alive, you want to make sure you're checking in regularly. Take the time to check in, but not be too obsessive. Keep in mind the other person's personality types, needs, etc., and not just what you want from that relationship. Keep in mind what both people want and find a balance of when you're going to talk, how often you're going to talk. You don't want to be too needy, but you want to make sure the conversation is regular and you still feel connected to that person. So find what works for you within that relationship and needs to work for both people. I hope that was helpful in some way. Please let me know any tips you have for the same thing in the comments. I'm sure everyone would love to read them. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm trying to grow my following. One of my goals for the lockdown is to grow my following. I also have a blog post on those goals. You can find that at chloeharrods.com. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have Facebook, I have Pinterest, all of those good things. Thank you for watching. Make sure you follow me everywhere and subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, let me know your tips, and have a great day. Sending you good vibes. Bye!